Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Headspace Podcast. My name is HSR.
My name is Chris Chrome.
And before we jump into the episode, and as always, you can skip this part if you don't want to do it by looking in the description. We're going to start with some housekeeping, and we're going to start with our favorite comment from last week. As you can see, this one's from Crybaby, and he asked for us to do the XXXTentacion ? Album review. And honestly, I saw Lil Peep. I'm a sucker for Lil Peep. And I said, if nothing else really huge comes out, we'll do it. And spoiler alert, here we are today. So this one's for you, Crybaby. I pay attention to those comments. Next up, we do have a request list. I've been neglecting it, but I'm going to take some time over the next couple of weeks and get that shit back up to date. So we'll have all the comments tracked, all the requests up to date in the list that's available in the description of the video. And that's all relevant because we do have the grind to 1,000 subscribers going on. At the time of recording this, we are sitting at 895 subscribers, which is fucking awesome, which means we're so close to breaking past that 1,000. And when we do break past that 1,000, some people are going to win some Amazon gift card money based on this raffle that we're doing. So for every comment that you leave and for every video that you like, you get entry into the raffle.
Woot.
Dope. And that's for any video, so you get a maximum of 1 entry. And if you subscribe to the channel as well, you can then go ahead and first prize will be $100 of Amazon gift money. I'll send it to you, via the Amazon, and you'll also be able to request a review. Second prize will be $50 plus the Amazon gift card money. Plus, you get to request a review from us. And third prize will be $25 of Amazon gift card money, plus you request a review. And by that request, it means you tell us what you want us to cover, and we do it right away for you. And that's pretty cool, considering there's a shit ton of albums on our request list. That
Definitely.
means there's stuff y'all want to see. So if you want your particular album done quicker, this is the best way to get that to happen in the near future. And you help us grow, and we help you by giving you some cash.
Also, just for clarification, with giving you some cash, it is in USD currency, so just take a note of that.
So that means that if you're like us in Canada, it's like 125 Canadian. But if you're in England, it might be like 75 or however it converts. So we'll figure that out at the day and based on that day's conversion rates. Okay, let's get into the episode. These people came here for a reason. Crybaby came here for a reason. Chris, why don't you introduce today's album?
Well, for today's album review, we went with XXXTentacion's album, ?
I think it's called ? And
Yep.
that would be the name of the album, yes.
Yep.
So why don't you tell us a little bit about how you know XXXTentacion?
So I know him from the 2017 Cypher.
Okay.
Freshman, XXL freshman Cypher. I know that he's like this dark kind of character. He's like dealing with a lot of from the last couple of things I've heard, he's like the poster boy for depression right now. As far as I'm concerned. But I've never really went into any of his music. I've heard it. I've heard his his aggressive kind of really wild type lyrics. I've heard of him, but I've never really got into it.
And he yells
A lot.
I like it. Some dudes know how to yell. And XXXTentacion's yelling does not come from a place of ignorance. You can tell this guy does like metal. And does like a lot of music beyond the average hip-hop rapper type and brings that influence into it. I know the dude because he did the music video where he got the white kid and the whole news thing.
Yeah.
But what really struck me is the first part of the video, the first part of that song, didn't do a lot for me. But I think the second part's the track Riot. And lyrically, that shit blew me away. It was some potent, powerful, really decent lyrics. And it was undeniable that this kid had he was different. It wasn't mumbling here. It was clear. It was hard hitting. And this guy was throwing in some rap energy and energy almost like you've never really seen. So for me, it's I kind of had my eye on him. And I remember when 17 came out, my biggest grievance was how short it was. Because it was really short.
Right.
And I was I don't know if I really want to review this. I kind of listened to it for a minute. Everything sounded like incomplete songs and stuff. And I was maybe just a little too close-minded to approach it. I hadn't necessarily listened to the first track on this album yet, if you catch my drift. But then this came out. That request came in. And This guy is like the most followed dude on social media of like anyone we've covered lately. So I was super curious. This guy, he's on house arrest right now, which is probably why there's no music videos because of allegations of some assault charge against his ex-girlfriend, who might be the subject of a few songs on this album. And yeah, so like I feel like the guy's story is so interesting. Like it's like, imagine being trapped at home and this is like what you produce, you know, because what can you do but like, you know, record music. You're really just kind of stuck there
Right.
without many other options. I don't know, but the album's called Question Mark, and it's a question mark. And
Well, it's not just a question mark. I mean, it's
that's the name of the album.
Well, yes, but like there's also got like you can see photos of him on the background on the album cover. It's like this white it's like a painting, a frame. The border of the painting is like well, actually the frame of the painting would be different photos of him, I think.
It's all black and white. I mean, my problem is that it's kind of hard to like care about those pictures. I'm certain they all mean something to him. All I really see is the big question mark, and that you can see that there are a bunch of photos in the background. The cover is fine. It's clear. I like the fact that like it's not overtly saying his name or anything. I like the fact that the black and white photos in the background makes the explicit lyrical content thing nearly invisible. Mm-hmm. But yeah, it's fine. I have nothing really to say about the title or this. I mean, question. I guess he's going through changes, like it's questions he's feeling. Like I don't know. Maybe I'm just too old to appreciate the brilliance of the title of this album. I don't know. It's fine. I like the album more than I like the title.
Maybe.
On that note, the first track is, instructions.
To show the versatility and to show the open mind.
Chris, tell us about this introduction and how you feel.
I like the poetry style of it. I know that it when I first heard it, it sounded just like a warning, and what it is. It's a set of instructions to understand where he's trying to come from, what he's trying to present on this album, what his main goal is. But the way that he wrote it, I feel like he kind of has some type of poetry type style to it. So that was really cool. But initially, the song, the song itself, or the message he wants to get, is just go into this with an open mind and kind of look beyond what the initial like sound is or what the initial picture is that you get off. I gave it a 4. I think that as like part of the album, it does what it's supposed to do once you've gone through the album and you understand it more and why he's asking you to be open minded about it. But as a solo track, I don't think this would be higher than like a 2.5 maybe, just because of like again the lyrical, the way he wrote it, the way he presented it, and it kind of sounds like when he's done, he walks off and kind of like walks out of the booth or like off stage or something like that. So I like the creativity behind it. But as part of the album, I gave it a 4.
Yeah, I mean, I get where he's coming from. People might hear this and judge him because it's different than his last work, or people are going to judge him because people judge, and that's what they do. And I kind of feel like this is somebody who's like saying, if you have nothing nice to say about my project after, you just didn't get it. is kind of what I feel like he's setting himself up for, like this open mind business. Like I know what he wants to say, like prepare yourself, it's going to be different. But it almost comes off like an unnecessary thing. Like the fact that he felt the need to do it.
Like validate it?
Yeah, like it to me, maybe it's just like I don't see the need to put that kind of a label on your packaging. So fine, you do that. You set up my expectations, and I didn't really have an issue with it. But he then says you can listen to it anywhere, preferably your room, your car, but it can be played anywhere. Buddy, don't tell me where to listen to your fucking album.
I wanted to I like the fact you brought that up because he sounds contradictory a little bit. Like he has this sense of confusion in what he's saying as well.
Well, I don't know about that. I just know that like I've never really heard an artist tell me that before. Like you can listen to it in your room. Well, sure, I can listen to it in my room. So can anyone else. But you can also put it in your car, and hell, you can basically listen to it anywhere. Well, what's the point in specifying like the best locations if anywhere is I felt it was a little bit wasteful, a little bit like I just didn't need that. This album is far different, far more versatile, far more uplifting than the last. That line I appreciated. It's probably worth saying. I'm not in the same place, so part of the intro was really good, but it's something you can find comfort in. It's very comforting, but discomforting at the same time. See, I don't know that it's really up to XXXTentacion to really tell me how I'm going to interpret his art, and I don't.
Do you feel like that takes away from the experience? Like he's kind of already telling you what's kind of like to expect a bit, and it's not allowing you to get your own.
I honestly feel like this whole song exists for the sake of comments that will come after the fact, and
Fair.
so he primed himself a bit.
Fair.
I don't hate it. I gave it a 3.5 on 5. I like the fact that he's trying to point out that the first part was really interesting to me, where he justifies his use of brevity and how he's trying to say as much as possible with the least number of words. And I think that was a really relevant part of the message. And I know it might sound like I'm being a hater to you guys out there. This was the most confusing introduction thing I've ever heard to an album in terms of making me want to listen. If I had just turned it on and heard this, there is a small chance that in a regular life I never would have gone past it because that introduction alone annoyed me. And that would have been a shame. So yeah, I don't have much more to say on this. Did you guys like this introduction? Did you guys feel like him suggesting how you're supposed to react and what rooms to listen to it in was like encouraging to you? Did it help? Anyway, let us know. In the meantime, Alone, Part 3. All right, so what did you think about the first actual song on this album?
I like what I think he's trying to do, and I like the emotion and the passion behind it. Triple X can sing. I enjoy that. I like how he has this kind of mumble sound to certain lines on the song, and he's expressing like feeling like despair and broken and not like knowing how to handle this, and like kind of questioning why he's like alone and what happened. That like I was saying, that feeling of alone of being feeling alone, that's like clearly there throughout the entire track. We get the sense that this is about his ex-girlfriend, and he's kind of like going through struggles, and he's kind of like questioning, like I don't know if at this point, like the song, if they're together or they're not, but like
I don't think they're together. I think it's the girl that had the whole assault case and why he's
right. I just meant like the timing of it, but anyway, clearly like he can't deal with the way she's acting or like certain things that are going about. I gave this song a 4 on 5, and it's not because of the lyrics. I mean, the verse is only 4 lines, 8 lines max. But
it's a little bit more than that.
Okay.
It's one of the only songs where you can have a lot of lyrics.
But I feel like what he's doing is more on the emotional and the sounds he's trying to portray, and how he sounds like he's weeping, he sounds like he's broken, he sounds that hurt. So I liked it. I like the mixing behind it. I like the way that he can control his voice and be able to give us this like very unique type of sound. 4 on 5.
Well, I'm just going to say it's not that unique of a type of sound, because my first thoughts are, man, this is exactly what I loved about Lil Peep and all that emo I liked back in the day. So it's cool. And I can see how maybe to hip-hop it's novel, but it's really cool to me. It's like paying homage to a lot of things that I grew up with. The guitar comes in super sad, but like pretty almost. And like, I love that melancholy kind of state. And we know what melancholy is because of Murs. I love that like melancholy kind of state that is in existence just in the music. And then he just comes in and he's singing like, I can't seem to find someone's shoulder. Who will I rely on when it's over? Took a chance with you, it made me colder. Better on my own when it's all over. So when I'm weak, who do I call? My God, it hurts. I can't be calm. And he just kind of runs through, and he just kind of like ends with like, she put my heart beneath her feet. She turned and left with the question, what's my worth? Gave my love. Anyway, it's just like this romancy, cheesy stuff, you know, like, and I can see how it might not be the most appealing to a lot of people, but the way he writes this stuff is like this raw expression of pain, this brevity of using exactly the right words to express the specific emotions and that he was trying to feel in this moment, which is, I believe, what he set out to do. And I love the way he sings it. I love the tone of the song. Honestly, this to me is strange to be on a hip hop album, but I love the fact that this came off album. It was a 5 on 5. I thought it was fucking great. The passion, energy. Like, I could only imagine how dope this would be to see live. Like, this is strong as fuck to me. Anyway, next on the album is Moonlight.
Moonlight, nigga, why you tripping? Get your mood right. Should it look good in the moonlight?
I bet you like this one more. And you want to know why?
Why?
Because it sounds more like what you listen to.
That is why I like it more. Yes, I like that trap. I like that trappy feel. I like that the beat behind it. It's got these like these wavy synthy sounds. The drums are on point. I like how X has this diversity in his voice, and he's always giving us this different vocal sound, this different type of personality that he's going on. It's a little bit of an upbeat track. There isn't, I don't really feel like there was any deep meaning to what he was actually saying.
Hold on. There's the girl he wants, the fact that he's better than others, and he's pretty flossing, and he's got the spotlight on him, which kind of is like the moonlight.
I took it more as the spotlight's on her, and she's kind of living this fast life, and he feels like he's stuck in this moonlight dark phase, like he's a creature of the
then
night.
there's also someone else, right? Or maybe it's him. Maybe he's talking to himself. Why you tripping? Get your mood right. Shawty look good in the moonlight. Audie's pussy so bad mind. I mean, maybe he's talking about himself. He isn't the most clear always who he's discussing. That's a good perspective.
But I gave this song a 3.5 on 5. I mean, it's short. It wasn't the longest song, and not a lot of these songs are very long. And I think that like sometimes I feel like I want a longer verse or a little bit more meat to the song sometimes. So
I don't know. Maybe his introduction was effective, but I'm kind of okay with 18 kind of snippets, because this album almost becomes this random bag of, you literally have no idea what the next song is going to be.
Mm-hmm.
And if you just compare the rock or emo driven music from the last beat compared to this almost airy twinkly kind of beat that comes in here on this Moonlight song, and I'm like, wow, that's just really crazy versatile of him, and I really appreciated that. And his flow's pretty good, like spotlight, moonlight, why you tripping, get your move right, and it's like, it's not even like a bad flow, but he repeats it a bunch, and then he has his little verse part, and then he goes right back into that chorus, and a lot of his song is that hook, and he just kind of drills it in as the music plays out, and that is a motif of this album. I was okay with this one. I gave it a 4. It seemed like it was like a really good song. I could vibe to this track, but I can't necessarily feel what he's feeling on this track in the same way that I was able to almost perfectly empathize with how he positioned himself in the previous one. Still, I'm excited for this album so far. The first 2 tracks here have had me kind of like, it was really way better than what I was expecting from his instructions at the beginning. And you can say I wasn't very sad, ! At all.
Gonna let me know, yeah. Suicide if you ever try to let go.
Oh my, go Chris, go.
I like this song. I like the smoothness to it. I feel like the song's a little bit more polished than the last couple of songs, than the last 2 other songs we've heard. There's a line where he's talking about, like, he's like alluding to like he's gonna commit suicide if he lets go, and
Well, it's who am I, someone that's afraid to let go. You decide if you're ever gonna let me know. Suicide if you ever try to let go. I'm sad, I know, yeah. I'm sad, I know, yeah.
right. And I wanted to talk about that for a second, because I think that I don't think he's like 100% serious in terms of wanting to kill himself. I think it's like his way of being extreme and expressing his level of how he feels and the pain he's feeling if ever, this ends or it's not going to work out. I do like the fact that he acknowledges that loving this girl and dealing with the bullshit that's coming with this situation is what's killing him. It shows a lot of growth from what I've seen, a lot of antics he's been through over the last year. So I like the fact that there seems to be some growth and he's starting to really like kind of look deeper inside of him on how to deal with things. Beat's really catchy. There's just really wasn't much lyrically for me to really quote down, but I gave the song a 4 on 5.
That's cool. I don't think he's trying to be suicidal. I think he's trying to point out the extreme nature of his feelings. So he effectively did that really well. I think that if you really look at how he says it, what he's specifically saying, the kind of emotion that comes in, and take into mind he's like, what, 19, 20? Mm-hmm. And he's going through heartbreaks and stuff, and most of us are whiny little rat messes at that age. I don't care who you are at 19, 20. By the time you're 30, you're going to look back and know you were whiny. That's just facts. And you look at how he's presenting himself, and I think it's really interesting. Like, I gave her everything. She took my heart and left me lonely. Okay, it's not like super over the top awesome, but it's the fact that it's coming from this like hard, outrageous rapper guy that just shows the softer emotions he's experiencing. Like, I think broken heart's contagious. I won't fix. I'd rather weep. I'm lost and then I'm found, but it's torture being in love. I love when you're around, but I fucking hate when you leave. And it's so honest. And I know so many people who have gone through the exact same thing that he's describing here. Hell, I've had moments where I felt exactly like what he's describing here. And I think that's what makes him so infectious, is that it's not fake. There's nothing about these emotions that this dude is kind of putting out to like make sales or whatever. I think this guy is just an emotional fucking mess, and he's putting his heart and soul into these fucking songs. And what I like is how short and sweet they are. He has his idea. He has the feel he has for these particular songs, and he goes just as far as he can. And if he has no filler, nothing else to say, he just ends it. He doesn't move it on. He doesn't take 18 to 20 bars to do this chorus that you repeat like 4 times so that the song gets a whole bunch of plays. Like, you can tell this guy is not necessarily trying to create this insanely fucking long album that you're going to go listen to, whatever. It's kind of like the opposite of Migos. But on the other hand, maybe the short songs is a marketing ploy so it gets lots of views in 37 minutes. Maybe. I don't know. I'm not sure. What do you guys think about the length of his songs? I happen to dig this one, though. I gave it a 4.5 on 5. I'm really impressed with the passion in this project, because for me, this is a passion project. It's one where you're meant to feel what he's feeling more than focusing. Like, this is highly inspired by like rock and things like that, more so than I would say is inspired by a lot of the things you may come to expect out of hip hop. Because I feel like I'm on the rock show right now, talking about the same kind of music I would be like on the rock albums. This doesn't feel the same. Maybe I'm missing something, but this is some emotion, singy music. Anyway, I really like it. So next one is possibly, though, my least favorite title, because it's so fucking long. As you're going to see, it's got 2 lines of fucking text in the fucking thing I put up top there. The remedy for a broken heart. Why am I so in love? Weep.
SAP. Was it on my shorty wrist? That's an AP. Untitled save a bitch, CAPE.
You like this one?
I like this one. This is, for me, when after hearing it a couple times, I felt like this was the, oh, we're in pain, let's do drugs. Essentially, I get that X is questioning why he's in love and why he feels the way he feels. There's a lot of that type of theme that goes on through this album. And he, within the chorus, he follows up with you just need a little bit of cash, a little bit of weed, a mixture of this and that to get yourself kind of like out of the slump you're in, or stop or being like numb to the painful situation. So for me, in that case, it's like, okay, we're just doing drugs to feel happy again. Other than that, I think that he might also be trying to like relate to people who do this, which I think is good to talk about it. But I didn't feel like there was any like sort of like not like description or like explanation of like feel of like using it to cope or whatnot.
Literally the whole song is using it to cope. The entire song is a description of using it to cope, Chris.
what I'm saying is that in the verse itself, I feel like a line in here I went, get the visa, had to tell the others ASAP, what that on my shawty's wrist, that's an AP. I'm the type to save a bitch, CAPE, feeling like ET, flying out the Addy, fucking on a shawty, she baddie, cause she was claiming the addict. I mean, I'm better than better, maybe I'm lying. Like, it doesn't even...
Then the next line is, I'm sadder than most of y'all with the money and the freedom. What is the money really worth if it ain't love? I'm going to find a perfect balance. It's going to take time. And then I heard shawty in love through the grapevine. Or still in love. I mean, the entire thing is showing that this escapist life, all these different things, the flashiness that everyone sings about is kind of not filling the hole that is created by the emptiness. Now, I don't know if you've ever been heartbroken, but that is like 6 months, a year of your life, a pure obsession. Nothing makes you happy and stuff. So if you look at this album like snapshots of emotion, which is what he's trying to do, it's less about the specifics of what he's trying to say and a lot more about what he's trying to feel on every song.
Right.
And I feel this one. I mean, steady trying to maintain same things that a blood bitch might frame. My brain can't fathom what the hate say, he say, she say, how about me say, and then he goes into what she just said. And if you really like look at it, first of all, the flow is crazy. He's just coming in fast and hard and like this kind of like nonchalant, like numb feel to it. And then I love the way he comes in on the chorus. He's almost like singing like mix a little bit of weed with a little bit of cash, with a little bit of this and a bit of...
I do
the
like
way
the
he
double
flows it is so... He flows it so effectively, like he just feels everything he's gonna say, and then we gonna be all, and he just can't even say all right away. Like he kind of like fades it in, but it's like he's stumbling, like he can't even get through it. And then just the end is pretty solid too, and it's kind of what I really liked about Lil Peep was that simplicity, and where it was more about throwing emotion and energy into the few words that you say, and saying them in a way that really kind of captures a feeling, and he really kills that. This track's a 5 to me. It was so good to listen to. Like, you really see where he's coming from. It's like, in many cases, you listen to a project and sometimes you see wordplay or you see a lot of skill or whatever, but here I feel like I'm really getting to know what XXXTentacion is actually dealing with, or the questions and things that are going on inside of his mind, and I'm kind of really impressed with the poetry this kid brings forth. I mean, it might not be the most lyrical shit. It's really kind of base in that front, but what he is putting out, for the most part, is pretty deep, so I can deal with that. Anyway, next one is Floor 555. You like this one?
I like this one.
I bet this is for the old fans.
I like the intensity of it. I like how he's raging on it. I like the he has in the beginning he starts off, he's like, I'll put one in the chamber, lay you in the face of God. Nobody face the fake fuck. I fuck us up, feeling God, level of feeling odd. Like, just he's already on that wordplay. He's already going like kind of like on this double time feel. And he's intense with it. And then when he goes into the chorus, which is the second part of the song, it's just hardcore, like I want to say like punk heavy metal type sounding, very like screaming, basically saying like fuck the fuck boys, you can't test me, you can't do what I do, basically. And that is pretty much it. The track itself is just him releasing anger, and that's what I get from it. He's releasing anger. He's tired of people talking shit. He's tired of people like kind of hating on what he's doing, or like just like hating on him. So he's basically just it's a fuck a hater song, but just with the new fuckboy term. As well, I just, the only one thing is that it's really distorted, and it's quite annoying. But I think that in terms of being open-minded and taking in consideration, like, this might be how he hears things in his head, like that could be a very, like, I can see that creativity, and I do enjoy that, but I do hate the distortion in the track itself, though. But it landed at a 4.
Yeah, okay. So 555 means going through a major life change. It can also signal that this big change is coming up ahead, so prepare for it now. Numbers, they have meanings and stuff. I it's kind of like he comes in with a bit of a rappy, and then he just gets really angry and starts like screaming. And I can see how a lot of people don't like the distorted screaming. I love the distorted screaming. It's so fucking metal. It's so fucking intense the way he's coming at it. It reminds me a lot of like that era of punk music when they didn't like sound engineers as much. And I feel like this raw energy, and that's what this album has been. Pick an emotion, he's been letting it off. So the way you describe the anger on here, that is this track's emotion, and he does it well. I really like when he's like, 'cause I'm a fucking narcissist, tremble, you catch a clip, bitch, and you are not equipped with that, pussy boy, don't be talking shit, or you can meet this AK, got kickback, 'cause I'm a motherfucking monster. In the heart of the mosh pit, put that boy in a coffin, 'cause the way you talk him, anyway, he's kind of like raging, like he's just like, and he's okay with being perceived poorly. He knows that the world hates him, and that they all think he's a certain way, and it's almost like he indulges it and he like takes it on for a second here. And I dug the energy, I dug the feel. Like, this is a fucking mosh pit banger, man. This is a guy I'd want to see live. Like, this is gonna be a sick ass live show compared to maybe some other people where, depending on if everyone feels like dancing, they'll move. But this is gonna have a live crowd no matter what. 4.5 on 5. It's a really great song to me.
Nice.
Next up is NUMB. Right. He has become so numb. He can't feel you there. Oh no, that's Linkin Park. No, but this is a good song. I fucking dig it. I dig the feel and the energy of it. I don't know. What do you think?
I actually really like this. I like what he did with this and how he's presenting it. So we get this chorus and he comes in and it's more of this like just expressing like more pain and more feeling and how he's dealing with tragedies, and every year he just has to he's dealing with like other issues and situations. But what I really enjoyed is that he replaces the entire verses with just woes, and it's like he's carrying his woes, he's carrying his problems, and it also gives this effect that he's just crying and he has nothing to say. He's just completely silent. He's dealing with what he has to deal with, and the only thing he can say is the repetition, which I'm going to relate that to the chorus, kind of explaining why he just keeps going whoa, like he just keeps carrying these woes. I thought it was really great. I thought it was a different way to kind of look at music in a little bit, in a sense. So I gave it a 4.5 on 5.
So Chris finally got the point of the album on NUMB. All right, now Chris is in the game, because that's what he was going for with like every other fucking song. But yeah, that's kind of what he's doing here. So he just repeats, and every single year I'm drowning in my tears. I'm drowning in my tears again. I can't seem to forget the pain I seem to give, the pain I seem to give, my friend. And he's like, every single year, and he just kind of goes on, repeats it. And the music's again back, like he's got like the full band here. He's got the guitar, the bass, the drums kicking in. Like, this could be a rock show all of a sudden again. And so I love the fact that we have so many styles of music that have come through on this album. I feel like this song is a 4.25. I get that Chris likes the whoa, and I think it's a really beautifully composed song, and I understand that he's trying to say very little on this album per se, but I kind of want more than just 4 lines repeated with whoa. I mean, I have a little bit of an expectation for a little bit more than that. I mean, Lil Peep's album was kind of lacking lyrics too, but nothing was that lacking lyrics. So I appreciate this song. It really is amazing. I plussed it, and I'm going to listen to it again. But it's 4 lines repeated a lot. It's a little bit hard to give that a higher mark, in my opinion. And it's possibly one of the most lyric lacking songs on the album, while still being fucking beautiful and amazing to listen to. So maybe it's a bit of a contradiction. I don't care that much. And if we're going quicker through this album, these songs are really short. It's not like there's a million things to say about everything. Sometimes you get a lot, and then other times it's just Infinity 888 with Joey Badass. Real as they come, they feel it get numb. So now we got some Pro Era. What do you think? You enjoying it? You like it?
I like it. I genuinely like Joey Badass. And I feel like this song is just them kind of just spitting bars, kind of just telling people where they're from and how they move. There wasn't really much else. We kind of stepped away from the a little bit romantic and emotional side of it. This just seems a little bit more hard. And when I say that, like, in terms of the lyrics itself, the beat though gives me this like club lounge type feel, like we're kind of just chilling out with this type of jazzy tune in the background. It feels very kind of relaxed, and they want to focus on what they're saying more than trying to hype you up and trying to get you angry. They want to touch upon like maybe a serious topic. In verse 1 we got Joey Badass.
What is the serious topic?
Well, how like dangerous it is, and I feel like the song is kind of like representing where they're from. So they're explaining how like they move and how they do things in their hood. Like Joey's like, don't let me have to tell these about the city I'm from. It's Brooklyn, be the home of the hardest. Wherever them don't aim, they just palm Berettas, and bomb whatever. Say we don't move calmly, never. Like I get this like this savage hardcore feel, but it's like.
So you think that XXXTentacion's verse is also about where he's from?
No, but I'm saying like also how he
is.
moves, because he's also describing like how he takes the track. Murder these flows, like I murder these hoes. Ask where the fuck is your energy, bro? Like he's calling other people, question people like how they're not like moving like kind of like how he does, having the same type of energy or the same type of like.
See, that's what the song's approaching. It's basically we're the shit and you're not.
Right.
I'm just saying, serious the subject matter. I'm not seeing as much as you were trying to sell it, like some serious subject matter. Because he's touched on like serious themes already on this album. This is more of the flossiest flossy song that we've come across so far. It's just my thought. They're not negatively putting.
Right.
I'm just saying it was a little bit lacking the serious themes considering who's featured on the project, in my opinion.
I don't mean to say serious themes in terms of like for example like depression, suicide, and that. I'm saying like the way that the music, the instrumental is like this jazzy lounge feel, and you're focusing more on what they're saying in terms of a serious topic. Like all I'm
saying is that I don't think it's that like serious of a topic. I think it's kind of look, I could do this shit with no effort, no pressure, no gimmick shit, no radio records, just textbooks, rhyme style with raw texture, punchlines, right hooks. Now that's a trifecta. Like it's bars. You're just coming in with some like fluid, airy bars. I'm not saying that it's not serious rap. I'm saying that it's kind of just airy, like don't fuck with us stuff to me.
Right.
I mean, I get what you're saying. Jazzy, nice sounding beat, maybe not the nicest sounding lyrics in terms of their subject matter, but I don't know. I was kind of like hoping for more deep society stuff when I saw Joey Badass, but no more free lectures. I'm taxing these extra. This is the pro of all eras. He's back in your sector. So it might be best to protect your neck or profess your debt to the God he might bless you. Okay, Joey Badass is coming in, and he's a good lyricist, and he has great lines, and I really enjoy his verse because it's proper. And then I noticed XXXTentacion comes in, and he's like, it's pretty good, like traveling through infinity. I like that part where he like flips up his flow and he's like, traveling through infinity. Not that pretend to be. All that bullshit do not get to me. I'm the spirit, an entity. You just want to suck on my energy. I'm the realist since Kennedy. You pussy at fuck sucking man. Whatever. I spit the pain. That's why I feel the same. All I'm saying is there's not a lot of like. I mean, maybe they're just going in. Maybe that's serious. I don't know. I feel like it's a 4.5 on 5.
I gave it a 4.
It's a pretty strong song, all things considered. It might be one of the best rap songs on this album. I like the beat. I'm not trying to be a hater. I just didn't like Chris's description. But I actually dig the song. I could see myself going back to this. It has a good energy to it, a good flow. And I don't know that it would be a modern rap album without this classic song of I'm Better Than You. So 4.5 on 5. And yeah, anything more you want to add?
Nope, gave it a 4.
So you're going down?
Guess so.
Did you know that he's gonna eat the pussy like rice and knock your boyfriend out like Mike Tyson?
Well, before that, hey, she ride my dick like a biker. I am the shit, need a diaper. I'm like Little Yachty, I'll one night her. I eat the pussy like rice and knock her boyfriend out, Mike Tyson.
Yeah, I gotta say, I love the amount of voices that appear on this one little like verse. He has like 4 distinct voices, whether it's mixing choices, effects, or raw, whatever. Still well done, very impressive and dynamic. This is a song about fucking a girl.
Yep.
I don't have a lot more to go on about it. It's one of the more modern rap songs, I guess you could say, on here. I guess he's got to prove he's got his modern rap game on as well. He's banging the girl. He has a great flow, and he's clear, and he's doing everything right. But I guess I just didn't like this one. I mean, when I'm drunk, I feel like fighting. She popped that pussy like a Vicodin, beat up that pussy like a Viking. She get wet, look like I pull up in a jet. She wants sex. Okay, shorty, I just want the neck. I understand that. Sometimes the girl wants sex. You just want head. Those are days where, maybe you don't get laid because you asked for head at the wrong moment if you're in a relationship. If you're him, you probably got the head. So that's pretty cool for him. I don't know. It's just, yeah, I gave it a 4. It's a well enough song. Didn't really interest me though.
Nice. I gave it a 4 as well. I like the talent behind it. I like how he got these different voices, but there wasn't anything that really stuck out to me. It was I'm fucking this girl and this is how it's happening, and yeah. So.
Yeah, it's fine. The next one is Pain equals all caps best friend. Are you ready? You want to tell us about how you feel about this one?
Meh. I like where he's coming from and expressing how it feels like Pain is the only thing that actually is around for him, considering to be his best friend. I like what he sings. I really like how he can hold notes and how he has that like soft tone to his voice and all this like anger and aggression that we keep getting. But there wasn't really much for me to really take away from this song. It was just really straightforward. But it's not something I'm really going to go back to. I gave it a 3.9.
Travis Barker. I mean, how do we have a song with Travis Barker? Chris does his whole thing and doesn't mention Travis Barker.
I apologize.
So I saw that name and I got really fucking excited. And then I noticed there's no drums for more than half the song. And I was like, fuck, when does he come in? But he comes in, and those drums for those 40 seconds or so are so amazing. It is so incredibly well put together what Travis Barker can do on a drum set. There's never a time he does the drums with a rapper that it's bad, and that's pretty cool. But then again, this is one of the more singy songs, except that we have the singy in the first part where he's like lost in regret. I feel so deeply. I can't seem to find a means of ground. And then it's like the track just kind of explodes a bit when Travis kicks in with his drums. And he goes into more yelly, screamy voice. And he's like, don't cry, it won't end. Pain will always be my friend. And he repeats it. Those are like all the lyrics. It's, again, raw energy thrown out there. But I think Travis is the star of this song. The drums are, like, go listen to them. Just go focus on the drums of this song. And tell me they're not the fucking greatest shits. 4.5 on 5. It's a really decent song. Yeah, I wish there was more to comment on. So the next one is $$$$$$.
You gotta sleep on my crew. You know that my VVS is...
Who the fuck is Matt Ox? The most I could figure out is he's a 13-year-old and that he seems to be a troll that is somehow featuring on rap songs and stuff. Is he a troll? Is he serious?
I don't like this song. I don't have much to say about this song. It's about making money and sleeping with girls. It's not really appealing. Matt XO.
Matt Ox.
Matt Ox, my bad.
He's 13.
Yeah, I can hear it.
But there's no jump, crisscross, I'll make it.
Right.
That's how young kids can sound. Just throw it out there.
I don't know. It just didn't sound it. The voices were a little weak, I found. It sounded so high pitched. I just left it at a 3. Money, make money. That's really it. There wasn't anything common.
So, Matt Ox was irritating. Do you guys like Matt Ox? Is he a thing on YouTube I'm supposed to know about? I know he has a page on the meme site of YouTubers, and I saw he has blonde hair in one pic and looks like a tool, and I saw he looks like a tool in all the other pics that I saw of him. He doesn't look like a guy I would like. He doesn't look like a person whose content I would like, but maybe I'm just being a dick because he's a kid or something. But he looks like one of those kids that made a joke, and apparently he had a successful song, and now he's in the rap industry. And now he's on this album, and I'm talking about Matt Ox on our podcast, and I don't know how that ever happened in life. Anyway.
Well, we decided to do the album.
But yes, I get that. But XXXTentacion has some pretty fun lines. I really like when he's like wait, skate 8, spin on my dick like a Beyblade. Did y'all have Beyblades? I have Beyblades. Beyblades were a hell of a lot of fun.
I had the jumping one.
So if for no other reason in this song, to be able to think about Beyblades again, to consider going on Amazon and starting a new Beyblade collection.
Oh my
maybe we
Jesus.
have Beyblade battles in the middle of the podcast moving forward.
we settle all of our debates with Beyblade.
I mean, and then he immediately kind of lost me with my dick'll hit her like an AK. These boys is mad because they basics. No. Tie up your lace while you tripping like a run up, get done up, say this, whatever, nothing. I mean, this kind of sounds like someone eating Pringles in the back of the beat the whole way through. There's like a, but like if you hear it, it's almost the specific sound of a Pringles being eaten from like the Pringles commercials. Those were
sampled it.
Maybe, but those are the things I found noteworthy because Matt's voice pissed me off. So I gave this a 3 on 5 because I think it's not bad, and I honestly think it's a bit of a trollish move on his end. It feels like he's trolling me, and if he was trolling me, good job. I appreciate your move. I didn't like the song, but you can love yourself in this interlude. See, the girl kind of like tweeted after this, like, "Oh, you included our phone call on the album. I cried. It was so meaningful." Like, basically, he took this phone call with this girl that he recorded and put it on an album. Do y'all record phone calls like that? Is that something I should be watching for? People recording my phone calls? That's not something I do. Is that something I should be doing? Anyway, go on, Chris. Tell us.
I don't really know what to say about it. I think that it's cute that
That's something to say about it.
he put this girl's phone call on the album. I think with the title of the song, Love Yourself, I think that this whole conversation may have more of a deeper thing to it. I think because he does kind of go in about like, loving yourself and you got to love yourself. So I think he's like trying to show like, I have conversations with people and I tell them to love themselves and, I'm trying to be a little bit of a grown up.
Well, I think that the verses was kind of his thought process while this call was happening, maybe. I don't know.
Okay, that could be a thing too. But there wasn't really much to it because
it's an interlude.
Well, also there's they're having the conversation. She's like, I'm laying here in a bikini, and then his thought process, and then
at the end he's like, "Why you stop lying or whatever?" And she says no.
Right.
I don't know. I give this a 3.5. I mean,
maybe he just cares for himself more that he's not bothered by the convo. I don't.
Maybe it really is just that he hears these things a lot and he wants these people to offer more respect instead of putting themselves out there the way that they do like that. Like, it is a bit of a weird thing. You start up a phone call. Hey, what you up to? Lying here in a bikini. Like, okay. I mean, that might be nice, but like, I don't know. It just
what am I supposed to do with this information?
Maybe you ask for a picture next, and that's
crossing lines.
But but even if it's whatever, like, I don't know. It just maybe I'm not in a position where many women are saying that to me, but I don't know if that's the best way to get in my pants. The next song though is Smash with an exclamation mark. Song kind of makes me think of Black Beatles. Anyway, go ahead, Chris.
That is true. Next thing, this is what I'm starting to see here is that he did take the concept of brevity and put it to the extreme fullest because this song is straightforward. They are basically saying they're going to fuck somebody and then leave it be because they don't have time to waste. They just want to have fun and just do that.
It sounds like the good old-fashioned smash and pass.
Basically.
Also known as the hit it or quit it.
And the other side of it also is that they're smashing the love that they've had for ex-girlfriends on like a little bit of a serious tip, and that they're kind of getting over it, and now they're moving on. It's not bad. PnB Rock just repeats the same thing. I gave it a 4 on 5. I didn't
like it anywhere near that much. It sounded like a generic song in the nature of what Chris described it. Like, yeah, we're heartbroken, so we gonna fuck some people. And really,
like, granted, it sounds nice. Like, it sounds good.
It sounds well made in terms of
Right.
being well made. Like, I put it as fine music. Like, it's fine. It's not like, it's like when your girlfriend says it's fine. That's how I felt about.
It's passable.
Like, it was above 60%. Okay, but like, yeah, you know, I smashed. Yeah, Shawty let me smash, so I put her in the past. Yeah, I put her in the past. That's the song. That's the message of the song.
On to the next one. On to the next one.
Well, maybe like I'm not in the right headspace for it or something, but I hear stuff like this and I generally get kind of bored, especially when there's nothing witty or really creative about it. This is like the most auto-tuney, modern, bad rap tropes that I'm not as into as it could be. It's like, this is the example of a mainstream fluff song, in my opinion. And it's a shame. Now, I on the one hand, appreciate the fact that he can make one. And I think that when you are putting all sorts of kinds of songs on your album, put them all. And it almost may have not felt as complete without this song. But on the other hand, it really doesn't make me like this song anymore. I give it a 3.25. It did everything it's supposed to do, but that doesn't make me like it at all. So that's kind of where we're at with this one. You know what's crazy? Hablo un poquito español, lol.
Girl, you know you got me feeling you the way you move. Baby, bring it close and let me show you what to do.
I think I know how this song got its name. He had it all recorded and stuff, and they were having a conversation, and he was just like, I don't even speak Spanish at all. And then that's how the song got its name. I mean, that's how I hope it went down. If it was anything more than that, I would be sorely disappointed. Do you like this one?
I like the vibe of it. I like the feel to it. I like that Spanish, Latin, whole groove to it. I don't. The lyrics are kind of boring. They're just, yeah. I didn't quote any lyrics. A lot of the lyrics I didn't really take off this album because there's nothing that's really standing out for me. But they're basically just saying that they're gonna get the girl. I gave it on 4 on 5.
Yeah, but when you have a Latin-sounding "Dance with Your Girl" R&B song, I kind of expect the message to be about getting the girl. This is one of those times where it is fucking oddly appropriate that the song's lyrics are all about that one subject.
Absolutely.
And, so it starts off with Carlos Andrez, who does this like first verse that's a hybrid of English and Spanish, and it's just fucking excellent. He's got swag. You know that this guy's getting girls. You know that he knows what he's talking about, and you just like, you hear the song from the beginning. You want to grab your girl, get up, and convince her to start grinding on you and getting into some proper dancing. That's the immediate moves. It's the first thing you have in your head that goes, maybe if you're a girl, you want to start dancing too. I'm not a woman. So then Judah comes in and does the chorus and the pre-chorus, and it sounds really beautiful and nice, and it follows through. He just kind of wants to take the girl. And then all of a sudden, Rio Santana does verse 2, and it's like a whole song, and it's all really beautiful, and it's really awesome. My favorite line is, she want it, we going hard till 6 in the morning, she need it. I bet the neighbors know my name when she moan it. And I was like, yeah, that's right. She's so loud. I want them to know my name too. And then all of a sudden X comes in, and X is noticeably not as good as the other guys in terms of his singing, but he puts it in, he does it, he puts himself out there, and while it doesn't sound as good as any of the other guys to me, I admire that he tried and he followed suit, and he didn't sound like out of place except for his lack of talent at singing. I gave it a 4.5 on 5. Honestly, if X had rapped and not sing, it would have been a 5. But I appreciate his effort more than I appreciate the result of his effort. This is a cool song. Of all the songs on the album, this is a really nice club banger that I really could see myself going back to. I know this is going on a special playlist for fun dancey music, and I'm really happy I heard this one. So yeah, Changes is what's next.
I feel can't stand it. Maybe I don't
Understand this, you're changing, and I can't stand this. My heart can't take this damage, and the way I feel can't. Oh, right, we're recording. Can't stand it. That's it, we're recording. Go on, Chris. Talk.
I feel like you enjoyed this one.
I like the one chorus thing that got repeated a lot with the beautiful, gorgeous melody.
Right. So what we have here is we have X expressing that he can't deal with his girlfriend changing. I like how he's being completely innocent about it. This sense of like wanting to know what's going on with his girl, trying to figure out like in her head what's happening, where she's going, what is she doing, but at the same time also expressing like, I can't deal with this. Like, I need you to help me deal with this. So I really enjoyed that. It just feels like a lot of just repetition, as per the song itself. And I left it at a 3.9.
I like the melody. I love the music of this song. When he goes in with the more instrument-driven stuff, it's really excellent. It's really like some of the best stuff I've heard in a well, I don't want to say the best stuff I've heard in a while, but it was the better side of this album in terms of that. On the other hand, there wasn't enough to this song to make me really like. I feel like this is a song that needed a little bit more. Like, I was waiting for it to explode and get into the song, and that never really happened. It just felt like a really great build up that left me a little bit hanging, but that build up was excellent. Like I would love to see this guy have like 5-minute songs, full complete things. And I know that's not really his style or where he's at, but I really hope he gets to a point where that becomes a more prevalent part of what he does, because these snippets that he's providing are really, really good. But like, I had to give this a 4.25. Like, it's really, really good, but it's definitely missing something. And now that we're this far into the album, it's almost like I'm having a little bit of trouble getting into any song because they're changing so quickly. A few of them are so easy to get into, but some of them are a little bit harder. Anyways,
Just have hope.
There is hope.
yeah, no, I'm not alright, yeah. I might start a riot, yeah. I'm so fucking tired, yeah.
I have a couple things about it. One, I like what I think he's trying to do. But question, I don't understand the Parkland shooting dedication. I feel like
The song's called Hope. You probably saw that happen, got inspired.
I get it, but nowhere in the song itself did I actually feel like he talked about it or mentioned about it.
So outside of my misery, I think I'll find a way of envisioning a better life for the rest of us. For the rest of us, there's hope for the rest of us. For the rest of us.
So as I was going to say, except for the concept that I think that, again, like I said, I think he's trying to do is he's kind of like embodying how he thinks these people are feeling, how they're kind of handling the situation, how they're kind of scared and they don't know what's going on and they're trying to deal with it. That I like. I like that type of like connection that he's trying to do. But for me, it's not something I'd really go back to personally. I gave it a 3.9 on 5.
Yeah, I don't agree. I think what he's trying to do is acknowledge the darkness and the pain in the world and acknowledge that he is choosing to, in spite of all of this, look for the hope and try to be more of a beacon. And it is a darker song per se, but I don't hate the dedication. I'm pretty certain he saw that happen. I mean, he's young enough that he could have been in high school a couple of years ago.
Right.
Said
only 20.
Yeah, but said I wouldn't die. Yeah, no, I'm not. All right. Yeah, I might start a riot. I'm so fucking tired. So what's up? What'd you say? Feeling good? I'm feeling great. Tired of the fucking hate stacking cheese on my plate. Often I find like he's trying to capture this youthful expectation that everything's okay and to just be complacent and to accept it while simultaneously criticizing the negativity of everything that's going around. I honestly feel like stuff like those shout outs to specific incidences date your song, but I don't hate him doing it. He's basically at the age of a student. These are his peers in life that are there, and if he felt impacted by it, I'm totally fine with that introduction. I feel like this song's intention was to be a beacon of hope in the midst of the chaos and the darkness, that he can be that light for other people. So I got where he was coming from. It left me giving this a 4.5. I thought it was one of the stronger ones on here. It's kind of like picking me up out of this slump of a few ones I haven't been liking over the last couple ones. It was generally nice to listen to this. It was cool to have him going on about some real shit again, you know?
Okay.
And yeah, so there's a couple left. The next one is Schizophrenia. Oh, this is a cool song. I really like this one.
Well, I do like how he presents the idea of schizophrenia with the different tones throughout the intro, animating different types of people, personalities in his head. I like when he goes, "There's another mind deep in me, don't know what's gotten into me. I've seen the other side plentifully. Till the end I'll fight." And
he's screaming.
And he is screaming as well. And then
it's hard as fuck.
I like how it switches over into like this like hardcore
metal,
screaming
like
metal,
heavy thumping.
You get like this sense that he's like the first part of the song is like one personality of his, and then the next one's like the anger rage personality, and it's coming out, and he really captures he really captures this essence of schizophrenia and just changing like that. I gave it a 4 on 5.
Yeah, I think this one's cool. Like, this is really short. It's like 1:20. It comes in voices in your head, and he's like whispering, and it's like voices in your head, those are trying to drive you mad and make it up. And then he screams wild, like he just gets all loud and shit, and then he really gives you a snapshot of maybe some of the chaos that might exist. I feel like the music really fits the energy of this song. It's a really cool little it's almost like a really cool little punk ditty on the middle of this project, or coming close to the end of it. It's got passion. It's right up there with all the other mosh pit bangers on this album, and I think it's so cool to see this on a rapper's project. Like, it's blowing me away how open-minded this dude is. I give this a 5. This is right up my alley for shit I would love to listen to on a more regular basis. So I'm super cool with that. I'm really happy that this came on. Like, I wasn't expecting to feel this good at the end of the album, considering some of the ones that we had passed there. So that does leave us with this last one on this project, and that's Before I Close My Eyes.
Down to sleep, pray the Lord my soul to keep.
I think that the way he ended the album with this song was a nice, kind of soothing way. Song's not bad. I just think that I'm a little bit like still kind of confused on what he's trying to say at this point.
Not really trying to say anything.
Well, like,
he's trying to express how he feels.
Right, and I'm still having trouble understanding, you know? Like, I feel like I need to go and...
It's just that this is not an album where you're supposed to go listen to the words and find the most profound meaning in the world. Right. It's an album that when you're feeling pain, you're supposed to put on and feel pain with him. And when you're feeling strong emotions, you feel his emotions. And you're supposed to be brought to where he is with the expressiveness of this. So, like, I don't know, like, this one just takes the Lord's Prayer, like the "if I die before to wake, I pray the Lord my soul to take," that whole thing. Like, so before I lay me down to sleep, I pray the Lord the soul might keep. I hope it's not too late for me, whoa, and he repeats it. The other part is difference, changing in the distance, time consumes the image. Oh, and it's got this timeless reflective tone. Like, all of this is gone all throughout one day, and this is like the end when he's like laying down in his bed and he still has these things flashing, and he's just hoping that he'll be okay and that the next day is going to come and things are going to be better. And he's just having, trouble dealing with all of that stuff is what I took from just this little bit that he has here. And it has a little bit more to do with how he sings it, and how he approaches it, and the choice of music. There's emotion expressed in all elements of these songs on these albums, far beyond just the words he's saying or the specifics of what he's talking about. I don't know. I like how he ended this. I thought it had this, like, calming, like, it really felt like he was almost lying in bed when he wrote this. Mm-hmm. And I gave it a 4.5 on 5. It was really well done to me.
I gave it a 4.
All right, well, I guess then that's the end of this project. I really dug the album. I thought it was definitely different than I was expecting it to be. I mean, I had no idea. I mean, it's XXXTentacion. He's got a strange name. He's a guy that is very polarizing in the hip-hop industry. Guys like Blackie Speaks will talk about him. So I'm left with like a 4.25 on this project. I think it shows a lot of potential for him. It makes me really want to follow his career. It makes me really care about what he's going to do next. In and of itself, this album is a bunch of short snippets. It's like snapshots of what he can be. But I don't know that he really cares about making like a full serious project. It's more about just expressing himself, and he is the kind of guy who I genuinely believe uses his music as therapy, and it's super prevalent in the songs that he writes, and the lack of caring for if you like them or not. It's about what he feels and putting it out there. So I can get behind what he's doing, and I actually look forward to seeing what he'll be like at like 25 years old.
Nice. My rating for this album dropped at a 3.9. I think that's just in terms of taste and in terms of playability for me. I like what X is doing with his messages, his concepts, how he wants to present himself, and just maintaining that same like aggressive, sporadic character that he seems to be all over social media and everything. But I do see a lot of maturity in this album. A lot of I see him starting to realize certain things and try to change a little bit. So I am interested in what the next project might be and what there is to come. But I'm also a little bit interested to go back and see his other work too, his previous work, and see where he started from and then came up to like what he is now on this album.
Fair enough. All right, well, let us know what you thought about this project in the comments, what you thought of our review, and thank you so much for being here with us and watching this. It means the world to us. And if you do put that comment there, and you do like the video and subscribe, you enter into the contest, which is always fun. We'll soon be past 1,000 subscribers. We'll soon be paying that out. And yeah, so thanks for being with us. Let us know what albums you care about us doing in the future. As long as you tell us before it comes out, there's a chance we may even do it. If it's an old classic one, we might do it. And then, yeah, so on that note, we'll catch you next time with another review. Have a wonderful week, everyone.
Later.